morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Woo. Singing good morning. I feel like a quartet song in my spirit today, y'all. I'm singing good morning. Good morning, people. Ain't nothing like a good old squalling quartet. Y'all don't know nothing about it. You youngins don't know nothing about that. Y'all think BJ and Chicago Kid and all them and these cats, that's a good, they come from a quartet background. Like, you need some good quartet in your life. I'm telling you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing this morning? Good quartet music can make you feel good. So you need that in your life. You need that in your life, y'all. So how's everybody doing this good morning? It is Hump Day Wednesday, and you know how we say, whatever your hump might be, let's get over it. Let's get over it because it's Hump Day. Y'all, good morning, Yolanda. Good morning, Candy. You should not be typing good morning to me right now because you should be in the car. Good morning, everybody. As my wife so elegantly puts it, if you can like and, well, if you can share, hit your share button right now. Yesterday did a phenomenal job. We got some new followers yesterday from you guys sharing, which is what we need to do every day. Now in the entertainment industry, it's all based upon how many followers you have, how many people you have subscribed to your platform. And we want to make sure that when the powers that be ask again how many followers that we have, we can definitely show them that we have people following. So we appreciate every like and share that you guys do. We appreciate it. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. We do. Hold on one second, everybody. I gotta take care of something real quick. Hey man, let me tell y'all something. It's a struggle having short arms, man. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. That's why I had to get me a little woman, a little skinny woman, because my arms ain't that long. And hey, what's up, Jerome? Good morning, good morning. Because my arms ain't that long, I couldn't get me a woman that was a little, had some depth to her, some, all that, because I wouldn't be able to wrap my arms around her all over because I got short arms, y'all. That's just one of my struggles in life. I'm let y'all know about my struggles, man. I got short arms. My legs ain't that long, but I compensate for it because my legs are short and my arms are short and make everything else look a little bit bigger, which I'm happy about. I mean, well, I've been blessed. God has truly blessed me in other areas. So where I come up short at, I make it up in all other areas. There go my neighbor. Good morning, neighbor. She didn't see me this morning. Maybe because my windows are all fogged up. So, good morning. Hey, you know what? And now I've been seeing this comment come across about these brownies anime. And are they them special brownies that everybody keep requesting? Because everybody keeps saying, Anna, they want their brownies. And I just don't know what... For the people that want these brownies so bad, they must be a special kind of brownie. Like a medicinal brownie or something. I don't know, Anna, because they sure everybody wants your brownies. And I don't know whether they saying white people can just make brownies better than black people. Like if you want a good pound cake, a 7-Up cake, you go to a black woman. You want some good brownies, you go to white women. That's just facts. That's not racial, that's facts. Like if you want some good collard greens, you go to a sister. If you want a good casserole, you go to white folk. That's facts. That's facts. Yes, and you can cook, and I give you that. You can cook. She can barbecue, and all that good stuff, Anna. But I'm wondering if these brownies any kind of special brownie, because the folk has been requesting these brownies for a bit of a minute here, and I don't know. I think we might have to go in. And I got it, Jerome. I said I accepted it this morning. I'm sorry. I thought we was already friends, man. I accepted it this morning, Jerome. So check it out. We should be good now. If not, let me know. Cause you know I don't do that, man. If I'm a friend with the wife, I'm a friend with the husband, man. That's my right hand man right there. If any problem, brother, you let a brother know. I got your back. Yolanda, now I got team Jerome and Kev now. KJ, JK, we holding it down for the married fellas. We gonna talk about that one day. Social media rules and social media etiquette. Now, let's say this. So I had a situation where somebody was a friend of mine and they deleted my wife. And I felt like, you know what, if you don't want my wife as a friend, then you should. I don't want you as a friend either on my Facebook. Now that might seem petty to some, but she deleted my wife, so I was like, you know what, ain't no use us being friends, because that's gonna run into problems. That's a little suspect. I figured it was suspect anyway, you know, because we come as a package team. So sometimes let's answer this question. So if your friends, now, okay, of course, my wife and me have separate different friends. Like I have friends from school, have friends that she don't know of that are females that are my Facebook friends. I think it's really weird though when, if I don't, like, Jerome knows me. Jerome knows my wife. He knows both of us. We both know him and Yolanda. So it wasn't strange for him to send me a Facebook request. Send a Facebook request because we know each other. But is it weird when, if I accept a Facebook request from say a high school friend, and Candy, will you get out here please? We got to go to the gas station. Girl, come on now, stop playing. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, her husband, that I have no idea who he is, send me a Facebook request. I think that's a little awkward. It's a little weird, because I feel like, okay, wait a minute, I don't absolutely know you, but you sending me a Facebook request. And I see that happen on a lot of situations. But and this is Jerome. I know Jerome, so I thought we was already friends. I felt like we was family already and friends. So I wasn't even thrown off when he sent me one, because we should have already been friends. But let me ask you guys, what's your opinion? Should married people have friends? So if I send you a friend request, should Candy right behind me send one, even if she don't know you? Like, I think that's so for some people that might be insecurity, or whatever, or you don't trust your spouse, or you want to know what's going on. I just think, you know, it don't make no sense for my wife to send a friend request to another young lady that I might be friends with that she don't know. First of all, that's gonna make the other person be like, well, I don't even know her like that. I wonder if she's just checking out on Kev. Kev must be out here doing this thing. Let me go ahead and see what he's working with, or something like that. That's how I feel. But I think I think it should be certain Facebook etiquette on the book. That was just a random tangent, you know. I don't know where it came from. I just figured I'd start a conversation, because basically, oh, thank you, Jerome. We love you guys too. We appreciate your support, man. Listen, it's definitely a pleasure when you have people that appreciate you and, you know, appreciate what you do. And every morning, man, we get up here. Some days, I'll be honest with you, some days we're tired. Some days we had a rough day before, you know, but because of you guys, we get up and we continue to do this. So thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your support. Thank you for us letting us know that Kevin and Candy make your day. It means a lot when we hear that kind of stuff. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the encouragement, y'all. We don't take it for granted, man. And we just believe, you know, that and I don't even want to say a calling, but it was funny. My wife mentioned to me yesterday. We were just to give you some history for me and my wife. We've been married now for 23 years, going on 24 soon. 23 years. I got married. I was 19 years old. She was 21 at the time. Yes. Oh yes, that rhino work. Lord Jesus, that rhino work. Lord, it will have you. We're going to come back to the rhino and all that. But we've been married now for 24 years. We went through it. And because we got married at such a young age, at 19 being married and her being 21, just finding ourselves in life, we kind of grew up. And then having a family immediately. We had 3 kids. By the time we were in our mid-20s, we were raising a family of 3 children. And, you know, things became difficult. We had just begun to learn one another. And we went through times where our marriage was... People really didn't think it was going to last to begin with because we got married at such a young age, and we came from totally different walks of life as far as our upbringings and everything. We totally different circles of life. But I met this young lady, and I fell in love with the idea that she cared about my spiritual life more than she cared about the game that I was kicking. And I told her that's what made where you at? I didn't see you. Hold on, y'all. I don't see you. Brooke, where you at? I don't see you. So I didn't see you, Brooke. I missed you. Oh, was that you walking down that way? I think I did see you, Brooke. So we got married at a very young age. Through the midst of growing up, through the ups and the downs, y'all, it was times when we thought we were going. I would have rather. When they said death do us part, we lied to you not. When we say death was a viable option to get out of the situation, we really considered killing each other. I mean, really, really, really considered. You know, I wonder if I can kill her or she can kill me and I not get caught. Like, I wonder if there's some way. So what you see today is a product of us getting over those tough hurdles. And we're now at the place now. Our youngest, we take him to college tomorrow. Here she come, late as usual. We take him to college tomorrow, and it's just me and my babe, yo. It's the core conversation. What candy and that's going down. Here she go with her foolishness, y'all. Here she go. It's the core conversation. Thank you. Candy and that's going down. Thank you. Y'all get used to me woofing like this because I got a kid in college now, so I had to sacrifice my haircut money. My weekly haircut allowance. It's the core conversation. What candy and Kevin's going down. For my son. To get an education, so y'all get used to this. It's the car conversation. What candy and Kevin's going down. It's the car conversation. What candy and Kevin's car conversation. What candy and Kevin's car conversation. What candy and Kevin's going. Baby, don't Jesus. Hashtag bless. I knew that last night when I came home from choir rehearsal. Why didn't you stop last night? Because the Spirit did not lead me to get gas last night. So you got to be led by the Spirit when to get gas. I got to be led by the Spirit to do everything. All I got to do is eat some certain things. You had gas last night. The Spirit led that? Well, the Spirit in these herbal supplements I'm taking led me to a higher place. So you see a product of us. Look at mother. Kevin, get mother. Mother look like she know witchcraft. I'm not fooling with her. Hey, mom. Good morning. Good morning. I see you every morning walking. Yes. Get that exercise in, mother. Yes. God bless you. You're welcome. That woman don't speak a lick of English, Candy. She ain't understand nothing what he says. Voices of. See, I knew she was a church lady. You could tell by her pep. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can get it. Dog, I missed it. You missed it. Hold on. Y'all could tell mother Pentecostal. She an African Pentecostal. She got the bully walk. So, it's that car conversation with Kevin, with mother, Candy and Kevin. Wait, Kevin, we got to pause for the calls. Hey, y'all, wait.
Did you hit the share button? What? Did you hit the share button? Oh, did you hit the share button?
Baby.
I need y'all to hit the share button. Yeah.
Hit the I don't mind all the energy. I don't mind all that. But can you come a little earlier? Because then when I'm in the mind talking, you just come in and you just, like, I'm talking about how far we come, how far the Lord has brought us.
Hit the share button.
Baby, keep going. You gotta keep driving.
Okay. Listen, guys,
let me just
can
finish.
you pause for the calls and go ahead and hit that share button? Now, you know we can see you guys when you hit the share button, and nobody's hit the share button. So can you just go ahead and hit that share button right now? We'll wait for you.
So
we said we're gonna wait for them to hit the share button. We can get the notifications when they hit the share button.
Not all the time, Dad. Yesterday I had a whole bunch of shares that I didn't know until after I got off there.
Well, Kevin, go on, hit that share. There you go. You hit that share button. There you go. Patrice, hit that share button. So Kevin, let me finish and then okay,
you go.
I got a true story. It was almost a devastating.
So to all the married people,
almost saw your Vigorette rehearsal last night.
So to all the individuals,
did you hear what I said?
Baby, I'm gonna finish this. So
okay.
to all the married people that might be struggling in their relationship and things might not be going the way you would like it to go, and you almost feel like you want to give up on your relationship, let me tell you, stay the course, fight for your marriage. This is a product of two individuals that fought for their marriage, and now we're in the best place, we're in the best season of our marriage.
Well, let's just be honest. We found out that even if you have a conversation with a hitman, you could go to jail. So we were like, oh man, that means we got to stay together?
Yeah, I told the Poke,
like, you can't even discuss possibilities with the hitman.
When they said death do us part, I said, for us
death
at one time,
option.
Death was an option. It was a viable option. It was really a consideration.
All I had to do was slip some walnuts in your food.
It was a consideration. So for those that are married and you might be going through a tough season, listen, fight for your marriage.
And you know what? Don't even say a tough season, because the realness of it is,
you hate your spouse.
Listen, you said, was I high on roofies when I married this person?
You literally.
Or you say, Kevin, see, the light-skinned people. I got dark-skinned people problems. The folks can't even see me.
Candy, you know what? You get on my nerves with that.
But listen,
just rude. I was in the middle of talking. You just gonna take my sentence.
But the truth of the matter is, baby, let's just call a spade a spade. The only reason why we decided to even act like we love one another, because we wanted to go to heaven. That was it.
No, let me be honest with you. It was sometimes we was in our relationship. We made it look good because we didn't want people to think we was
everybody
failing.
was saying that we were going to fail, so we were like, you know what?
So we faked it
till we make it.
And that's the truth, y'all. We faked it for a long time. We hated it. Like, we would go to church and be like, and we would go home like, I hope you choke on that chicken. But thanks be to God, we hung in there, and God has blessed us.
I'm gonna tell you, it was times where.
Okay, Candy, there you go. Now you're ready to start telling all our stories. Ain't nobody to ask you to tell all the stories.
It was times where I want to slice him right up in here and go. But God said, now, Candy, is that what you really want to do? And I was real with Jesus. Jesus knows me. So I was like, yes, that's what I really want to do, Jesus. And then I was just like, why did I marry him? Like, what is going on? Did he roofie me or something?
You got a good relationship with Jesus when you sit there and you talk to him about how you can get rid of a person. You can kill him.
Yes.
And still be in his good graces and not go to jail. Like,
I sat Jesus there. Had a bargaining conversation. I was like, Jesus, what if it's a slow death, like he not in pain? Would you still be mad at me, Jesus?
I prayed that the Lord would take you. I was like, take her now, Lord. Just kill her. Kill her, Lord. And I promise you, with my next one, God, I'll do much better.
I was like, well, Jesus, he kind of doing all right with you right now. So I'm trying to help him get into heaven. Because if he died right now, because if I kill him, you going to have mercy on him and you going to bring him on in to heaven.
I wanted you to get your reward early, Candy. I was like, you know what? God, I want you to give her I want you to do what I can for her.
And it wasn't like I'm going to be honest, there was a point in my marriage, and if you going to keep it real, there is the truth behind this. If you keeping it real, now, we not the people that gonna sugarcoat nothing. Yeah. We keeps it real. And I just wanted Kevin just to die so I could be free. Not free to date someone else or get married again, because there was a season in our marriage where marriage had just made me so bitter and angry that I said I will never, ever get married again. I'm gonna be honest. I said, if this is what marriage is like, I'm gonna kill him off and just be by myself. I'd already had my kids.
It was so bad in our relationship, y'all. We would go to other people's weddings and be sitting there with signs like, "Don't do it! It's miserable."
I'd be in the receiving line like, girl,
what did you just get yourself
you don't
into,
even
bro?
realize they devils. They are imps sent by Lucifer himself.
I wanted to play on the big screen TV at the church, the bachelor party from the night before, so she could walk out and I'd be like, brother, I just saved your life. But you know, that's all the bad stuff. But thanks be to God, because we fought for our marriage.
But then we realized,
we didn't really fight for it. We
see,
fought.
that's what the thing. Then we realized that marriage, you have to work.
Yeah, marriage.
At marriage. See, the thing is, you know, when we got married, Kevin was 19, I was 21.
Nobody told us the other stuff.
And
like there's gonna be problems.
And so you got to understand, the people that was giving us counsel on our marriage had partial dentures. They was old.
And then they wasn't married to us.
And they wasn't married to us. Like, his mom could only
bring my siblings in. I mean, my family.
His mom could only talk to me as a part of dealing with his daddy, but she wasn't married to him. Do you know what I mean? So it was.
And then get married at such a young age.
And we didn't have anybody else remotely our age.
And the one couple that we did have, they
broke up.
Yeah. Most couples that got married at our age, a lot of them like broke up. Listen, let me tell you this true story. We had a couple come to our house
that were engaged.
And we sat down with them, and they wanted some advice.
We were having a real conversation with them.
And we had real conversation with them. It's just like, yo, this is what you're going to face. This is what you're going to go through.
Now, what you going to do when this happens?
What you going to do when this happens?
Then I said to the girl, I said, what you going to do when him hitting that right spot? Just don't settle the fact that stuff ain't right.
Bills got to be paid, you know.
I said, now what you going to, and then Kevin said to the guy, what you going to do with her little tongue game ain't.
Baby.
Listen, Kevin, this is how we talk to the folks. And
we
said, well, all that shotting ain't nothing. What you gonna do?
And then we just kept it 100 with them. We was like, you sure y'all ready for this?
And then I said, y'all getting married because you don't, hold on.
Because the Bible says it's better, and the body, the
20 plus cash.
The Bible says it's better to marry than to burn. And I was like, man, you might consider burning a pleasure if you get married to this chick, brother. So, needless to say, they never got married. They realized they weren't right for each other. The young lady actually went on to, and these were kids of pastors. Two prominent pastors, and one in the Jersey area, one in the Philadelphia area. Prominent pastors, well-known pastors, and they came to us as far as the children are concerned. A good friend of ours, we grew up with them, and needless to say, they didn't get married. The young lady ended up getting married to another gentleman, and she's doing phenomenal. And the gentleman that she was engaged to, he's still, you know, in searching and looking. But you know, he actually thanked me. He saw her recently, and he was like, "Man, I'm glad I dodged that bullet." And I was like, "Ooh, I saw it too, man." And I was like, "See, God speaks to God speaks to me sometimes, and he sends you a warning." A ram in the bush, brother, and I saw her lately, and God used me as your ram, brother. I just want you to know you need to sow into my life, because I saved you, brother. I saved you. So, yeah, that's that, y'all. So, I mean, if you married, let's fight for your marriage, man. If you're considering marriage, make sure you know who you're considering it with. Make sure they have the same values. And one of the things is you don't have... one of the truer things that I've learned is opposites do attract. Me and my wife have two different... We're totally different. She likes to run. I hate running. She's bougie. I'm country. So we're totally two different individuals. But what attracted us was the love for one another, and us having at least one common denominator, and that was we wanted to please God with our lives. So that's that with the marriage part. Now on to the things that's happening in society right now and in the news. As we told you yesterday, President Donald Duckbill Trump is pissing off Kum Jum Jaka Baka Baka from North Korea. So y'all keep that in prayer because you talking about messing with a dangerous man that will have no qualms with sending a nuclear device over to the United States. So we ask that God settle that issue. Also, listen, an issue that's been going on that I actually posted a couple of weeks ago when I spoke around
to the blue, so you can call it in.
When I spoke to what was I saying, Candy? Oh yes, you can't ask for a better best friend. But listen, and we probably won't spend a lot of time on this because my wife really doesn't care.
About what?
Colin Kilpatrick.
You can't even get his name.
I can't even get his name right.
It's not Colin.
What is it?
It's Colin.
Colin Kilpatrick. And the way
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick, yeah. Well, I wasn't a big fan of his team. And how the NFL has blacklisted him for taking a stand against police brutality, and how the United States treat black individuals indifferently, and
oh baby, thanks. They boo-loving all up on the book.
Well, you let them boo.
Here you go, baby.
Let them boo.
But you know what? The thing about it is, getting back to, and I don't know how far you went to it, but the thing about it is, the one of looking back on the looking back, what the problem that we had was, now that we're on the other side of it, is we never had a conversation ahead of time. We never had a conversation about rules for engagement in our marriage.
Oh, baby, okay, wait, stop. You got to back it up, because I went on to a whole nother subject and you went back to a subject. So I'm talking about the Colin Kilpatrick.
I don't know who that is.
But hold on, you saw me divert into another conversation.
Because his name is Colin Kaepernick.
Kaepernick. You saw me divert into another situation, but then you went back. So I don't want the people to be confused.
But you just spit on me when
you talked. The much body fluids we get on each other. Stop that.
Hey, can you not talk
Could you stop that, baby? I mean, that's the last thing you need to be worried about.
Give your benediction on the football guy.
Oh, we'll come back to that another day.
So, but here's the thing. We never really talked about our rules of engagement as it pertains to our marriage, because I'll be honest, we were young. We were like, yo, we about to have unlimited sex.
That's what we thought. Like,
we about to be able to leave church. We about to be able to be at the convention, go upstairs because the church we grew up in, they had conventions in the hotels. Yeah. We about to be able to go upstairs in the convention hall
in between services,
and get it in.
And then so we wasn't that couple that had a long planned out wedding. Like, we didn't take much. We did it in a week.
1 week. Kevin asked me on a Saturday. We got the blood test done on Monday. It came back on Wednesday.
We was getting married on Sunday.
We went and got married on Sunday. Let me tell you, it wasn't anything, See, that's when, God takes the decisions that we make without consulting Him. And says, foolish little kids. But I'm going to fix it for him.
Yeah.
Jesus, He will fix it after a while.
So we got married. We got married within a week's time.
Yes.
And within a week later, we looked at each other like, wait a minute, we actually husband and wife?
Yeah.
What was we thinking? We ain't ready for this.
Yeah.
But by that time, and one of the things about us, and one of the things, if anybody knows my wife, you can't tell her something can't be done.
That's right. If you really want to make me if you really tell me I can't do something.
Yeah, you
I'm like,
can't.
Oh, I can't? Well, yeah. Watch me work.
So when people say this will never work, we kind of stubborn in the sense of, you ain't going to tell us we can't get something done. So we made sure we worked it out.
We were like the War of the Roses.
Yeah, we was like, we might have fought at home, but we best believe when we went out.
We would pull up to church and be like, God bless you.
Hey, everybody, how are you?
And be like, hey, babe.
God is good. You guys good to us, too. We are just happy to be married. Look at us.
We knew it was a problem when years later, I'll never forget, we was in church. I said, we walking out church, I said, you was a big dummy.
Yeah.
And then the person was just like,
yeah.
y'all like Martin and Gina, what's going on? I'm like, I can't stand that nigga. That's what I said.
Yeah,
I said it. I said, I can't stand that nigga.
Yep.
That's what I said.
And I can't repeat what I see. Let's just say my mouth wasn't as saved as it is now. But that was back in the day, baby.
And then you know what? It was so funny because the real rap is, don't go with your face. That's what I said. But listen, and then people, you know, they would say, they tried to talk to us, you know, this was early on. They said, are you guys working at this? And we would say we was working at it. Are you fighting for it? Yes, we would say that, but we really weren't.
And the worst thing you can do is have people that marriages are really jacked up behind doors, try to tell you how to run yours. We had people that would come to us and say, you know what, try to encourage us in our marriage, but before we knew it, they was walking down, they was on divorce court. Like that just didn't make no sense to me. It was just like, and you tried to help us. And
I mean, the thing about it is, when you know when you're working on you personally. Now I'm not talking about your spouse. I'm talking about you. You personally know if you're putting your effort into salvaging your marriage. You know it. You know it.
Let me tell you,
because here's the thing. The truth of the matter is, you are so extra.
Are you serious, Candy?
The truth of the matter is,
see, now years ago I'd have thought she was trying to kill me right then. I'd have been like, you trying to kill me?
Sometimes we give lip service, and I'm not talking about that kind of lip service, because after a while there reaches a point in marriage and that kind of lip service just don't do the trick anymore. I don't care how good your spouse's shot may be. It gets
after
to a
you get
certain
done and you look
point,
over at them and they still there, you be like, I thought I killed you.
Yeah, it's like, it's just you. I mean, are we talking real talk today? I mean, are we talking real talk? Do y'all want the real, or do y'all just want us to tell y'all what everybody else always
We trying to help
says?
y'all get over y'all humpies.
There comes, and the truth of the matter is, there comes, because me and Kevin, hey, don't with the wild faces, because it's the truth. Now, do y'all want us to sugarcoat this thing, or do y'all want us to talk real?
Baby, we got to stay on focus.
Now, here's the thing is, the realness is, sometimes let me back this up. There was a point in my life in our marriage, where most of my prayers and why are you rubbing your titties, baby? Like, what's going on?
Sure this is down in there.
There was a point in my marriage where most of my conversation with God concerning my marriage was, God, it's him. God, fix him. God, kill him. God, what's wrong with him? God, work on him. That's what, I want to say honestly, for like a smooth 3 years, that's when my conversation with God, it wasn't even, matter of fact, it wasn't even a conversation. I would just basically go and have a monologue, because I wasn't checking for what God was saying. I'm gonna be honest. It was like, okay, so here are my complaints. He this, he that, he this, he that, he this, he that, he this, he's that. So like I was saying, there was a point in time I would just read down my list of complaints to God and be like, yo, that's your son, that's your child. Get your child in check, beat him, reprimand him, put him on punishment, because I'm done. And then I would just walk away from the conversation, because I wasn't checking for what God had to say to me, because I didn't want him to call me on my stuff. Real rap. I'm going to take it a step further. And this is something Kevin and I typically don't talk about, but because we family, and because we decided if we're going to talk about this, we're going to keep it 100% real, because this is what failing marriages need. Failing marriages need couples that are going to talk about the jacked up stuff that goes on in marriages, that, because they don't have people around them that are being honest. I want y'all, now every man around here is about to have a whole heart attack, but I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. some of my horny sisters about to have a whole heart attack. When it got to a point where, when I'm about to tell y'all, we first went, Kevin, because Kevin's father was our pastor, and that was another complicating factor too, because it's hard to separate pastor from daddy when daddy is really your daddy. You know what I mean? It's hard. And Kevin was so frustrated with me that he went to his dad about this certain situation. His dad was like, oh my God, because y'all remember the conversation from yesterday. So his dad couldn't even fathom in his mind. But our marriage had gotten to such a bad place, and there was so much, I don't want to say hatred.
Oh my Jesus, baby, will you say what it is?
No, listen,
I don't even know.
Listen, there was so much. Hatred is really strong. Like, no, I'm gonna be honest. At some points, it was hatred in my heart. Like, I really wouldn't have cared if Kevin would have went and dropped dead in the street, and he wouldn't have cared. It was both ways. But as a woman,
ain't nothing like hating your spouse though. That's a good hate. Like, when you get to the place you hate your spouse, you good. Like you look at each other and you sleep with each other every night, and you be like, I hate this son of a.
I mean, but the real rap is, and I'm about to shock y'all, but I'm gonna be honest, and Kevin's about to be like, yo, you told them that. But here's the truth.
Hold on.
Our marriage was so bad.
Is it gonna be something like that was too much information?
That
you need to discuss it with me before you just put us.
That for either 2 or 3 years, 2 years, me and Kevin did not have sex.
Oh yeah.
For it was either 2 or 3 years, we were living together, sleeping in the same bed every single night, going to church every Sunday, what night did we have church? Wednesday. We had the 3 kids, but our marriage was so bad, and I hated him so much, and he didn't like me so much that for 3 years, was it?
No, it wasn't that.
2 years. For 2 years.
It was a year.
No, it was 2 years.
No, because I took it sometimes.
For 2 years, we did not have sex. And my husband came to me and he said to me,
I told her,
he's like, yo, Candy, I'm serious.
Well, let me say what I said.
But wait a second. Okay, you said what you said, then I'm going to tell you what I said.
I was like, I said, look, I'm telling you now, you put me in a position where I'm getting ready to go out here and just start messing around because you holding out on what.
And you know what I said to that? Believe it or not, I was like, okay, and your point, we not having, hit the button, because Kevin, you know I got dark skin problems. Kevin, the people can't see. Anyway.
We can lose people with our thoughts.
This is how bad our marriage was. When my husband said to me, what did you say, Kevin?
I said, look, I'm telling you now, and I'm ready to go out here and just start screwing because you ain't giving it to me.
And you know what my response was to him? Go ahead. Because we not having sex anyway. I ain't gonna catch nothing from you. So you ain't getting it from me. So you better get it from somewhere. That's the low our marriage had sunk to. I told my husband, yeah, you better go get it from somewhere, because this girl ain't coming up off of nothing.
Yeah, and then in your mind you start to think, well, she must be getting it, and the devil begins to play on your mind. She getting it from somewhere else, or she ain't getting it from me, and all.
Are you still talking? Oh, we're back. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, y'all.
Sorry about that, y'all.
That was the connection. But here, listen, y'all, because maybe what we're saying right now, some couple needs to hear, some husband needs to hear, some wife needs to hear. So listen, can everybody pause and hit the share button right now? Hit the share button, because I believe that somebody needs to hear this. And because typically,
it ain't good.
Oh my God, our screen is like
they said we know somebody need to hear this, because our screen just did something I ain't never seen my phone screen do before. So y'all pray that we can continue this, and if we don't, we'll come back on. But it was a time in our marriage, like my wife.
Hold on. So everybody, wait, let me finish, because it stopped. Share this, hit the share button right now, because I believe that somebody's gonna see this, and maybe they may never come up to us. And really, us sharing our story is not about people coming up to us and saying that we help them, but just to know that
it's about bringing hope to a dead situation.
But listen, here's the thing. It was because, I mean, when we got married, I mean, we loved each other. We liked each other. But to be quite honest, our marriage was the foundation of our marriage, real rap, was sex. The foundation of our marriage was he was a good shot for me. I was a good shot for him.
And she had her own place.
I had a 2-bedroom apartment,
so I can go
with
over there
a fireplace
and knock off whenever I felt
and,
like it. Like, it was good.
It was a good shot.
I can't wait till these kids go.
We were very sexually compatible. He could come up to my dietary needs for sex, my frequency needs for sex, and I could sure enough come up to his.
Why you have to wait? Whoa, why you gotta say like sure enough? Like
okay, because you was a hoe.
Like, but the way you just said like I mean,
you was just a You was basically a professional sex. You were a sex professional. Like you was just a hoe. But anyway, see, because that was the foundation of our marriage. When the things that came up, things begin to come up against us, that comes up in marriages because our marriage was not based on communication, was not based on God, was not, and that's not being super deep, was not based on our marriage.
We didn't pray about nothing.
Was based on let the good times roll.
Honestly, you know what the truth is? We didn't pray when we stopped praying when we start having unmarital sex. Like, think about it. When I fell in love with you when I was kicking my game and you said, let us pray. Then we started having sex and we wasn't praying no more. We was praying individually, asking God, Lord, forgive me for this fornication I just did, and me lying because I was still living at home with my parents, me lying to my mom saying I was at my boy's Teddy house all night when I knew I was at my
See how that just works? See how that just worked? Kevin just had an aha moment.
And he using the one that it would really kill me with. I got to call and repent and tell my parents I'm sorry.
See?
Oh my God.
See, I knew you was gonna have that. Thank you, God. Okay, amen and amen. I was like, does he hear what he's saying right now?
I'm having a moment inside where I am actually
Let me take
crying.
this over while you. But he's gonna cry for a second. But see, the thing about it was, and the only way, the way that I learned to communicate with my husband, because the foundation, you all right? The foundation of our marriage was sex. The way that we communicated through sex. If I made a good meal, I knew it was a good meal because he broke me off real good. Like, are we having a real conversation today? Amen. Amen. When he wasn't,
when she wanted something, or it was like my no wouldn't last if she put it on me like if I was like, no, Candy, we're not doing that. If she put it on me like she put it on me, then my no would circumvently change it to a yes. I done changed his no to yes to cruises. Yeah, and it's times. Listen, and being real with you, it's times as husbands and being ahead that you have to say no, we can't do that because financially we're not in a place. But because we didn't communicate like that, and everything was based on our sexual appetite. Everything was based on, okay, I know how to get this out of him. So we didn't have a great communication.
So we communicated through sex, and it wasn't a dialogue. If he was mad, I knew because he didn't do that little special thing when we had sex. When I was mad,
let me answer the question that they just asked me. Thank you for asking that, Yolanda. Thank you for the prayers for my mom. Yes. Everything went well. Her heart is good as can be. Like her heart,
about to get some.
Like they said, it's absolutely. Her heart is in excellent condition. Nothing's wrong with the heart. They still want to see why she's having problems sometimes breathing. They think is her another area that she already had issues with. She wasn't taking her medication like she should. So thank you for the prayers for my mom. She's doing wonderful. And her heart is at 100%. So go ahead, there. I'm sorry.
So getting back to the foundation of our marriage was built on sex. So therefore, Kevin has always had an entrepreneurial spirit. He's always had these like startup businesses. Some were misfires and stuff, but
some were successful.
Some were
very successful.
As I said, some you didn't let me finish.
No, baby.
Let me, baby.
Go ahead, there.
Some were misfires. Some did well, but it took away, if we already lacked in communicating, like talking, if we already, and then our marriage was suffering, I communicated with my loneliness, my aggravation, the way that Kevin used to justify it is, Kevin would be at one of his businesses till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I really didn't see him, spend quality time with him for maybe 2 or 3 days straight. And so how I knew he messed up was I buy jewelry. You know, at one point, be honest, I had easily like $100,000 worth of jewelry. Easily. Unfortunately, our house was robbed and all of that. Jewelry.
That's a whole nother conversation we're gonna go into. Don't let everybody know what you got.
But you know, this is how much he pissed me off. He pissed me off that my jewelry accumulated, the value of my jewelry was easily like $100,000, and it was good jewelry. I mean, good jewelry. And some crackhead broke in our house and stole all of it and probably sold it for $2. But listen. But I remember saying to him, he had brought me a pair of, it was like 2-carat diamonds.
Yeah, where are them? I keep asking you.
It was like 2-carat diamond earrings. Any other woman, because I had a woman.
No, it was more than that. It was more than that.
Whatever. I was iced out.
Well, no, it was an ear.
Per ear. So 2 carats per ear. So I had 4 carats in my ear. I was looking like Allen Iverson out this piece. But anyway, I'll never forget, I hadn't seen him for like a day and a half, because like he would come home, but he would come home so late and I would have to leave work so early that we were basically just passing, like he coming to bed and I'm going to the bathroom to get my shower and I'm out or whatever. I wasn't speaking to him. I had stopped having sex with him. And, you know, he knew I was pissed, because that day I left the house. I ain't say nothing to him.
Pissed, nothing.
I just left.
But I had to go to work myself. Like,
so
I was working like crazy.
He pulls up to my job and he's like, yo, come outside. I'll never forget. I was working at the university.
Oh, yeah, I was supposed to get the oil change.
No, wait. He pulls up to my job at the university and he was like, I know I messed up, but I got something for you. And I was like, what? And he pulls out 4 carats of diamond, like 2 carats for each ear. And I was just like, and so I'm supposed to forget the fact that I ain't seen you behind in a day and a half. Not for real. We got 3 freaking kids. I feel like I'm a single parent. Our relationship sucks. And now what you basically doing is you treating me like I'm a darn pretty woman hoe. Like all of that's supposed to be shut down over some darn diamond earrings. I'll never forget, there was an older woman that I was so frustrated, I went and I was talking to her because I couldn't tell everybody, because not everybody knew our situation. And I was trying to talk to her like, I'm so frustrated. At this point, I just wanted to just leave. And you know what? This is how jacked up it is. So I'm talking to this woman and I'm telling her the situation. And she said, Candy, if you leave him, you's a fool. I was like, why? She said, you have not 1, not 2, but 3 fur coats. You got like $100,000 worth of jewelry. You do anything. We had our own, we had a townhouse at the time, because that's what I picked out the house that I wanted. I didn't want this big mansion, whatever. I picked out the house that I wanted. And we had a 4-bedroom, and wanted for nothing. And you mean to tell me you're going to leave him and give up all that just because you don't see him enough?
Can I speak to something?
Just because, you know. And then this older woman, it was an older church woman, said this to me. As long as he is buying you nice stuff. And see, because the church that I grew up in was like Pentecostal, kind of like Kojic. So I only had designer suits. I was looking like Karen Clark Sheard used to back in the day. I used to wear the same suits that she wore, I wore. The same hats that she wore, I wore.
Baby, let's share this before, man.
But go ahead. Go ahead, Kevin.
And to fellas that, and again, my wife would tell you, I wasn't out like doing crazy stuff. I was actually, I was grinding. I was a hustler. I was trying to build an empire. And my thought process was, if I take good care of, like, I might not be there all the time, but I'm providing fine. Like, I had a full-time job and running a business that was very successful at the time. And I was like, if I'm doing all of this and I'm providing well for my family, then I shouldn't be questioned at all. But what I realize is, brothers, you can be successful in business, but it has to be balanced. And what I did was, because I provided so well, I became very arrogant in the sense of it was like, yo, who you think you talking to like that? As long as I'm giving you everything that you want, you don't question me. Like, don't ask me, you can't say, all of this. I mean, it was cars, all of that good stuff. And I became arrogant, not realizing that my family needed time with me instead of just me financing them. I never forget, that one of the things that really set me straight was she began to pray. So then God began to strip everything. Like,
no, let me tell you what my process was. For the first few years of us going through that, I kept saying, God, look what he's doing. God, I feel like I'm a single parent because he this, he that, he this, he that. And that's when I was really on my Kevin's an a-hole. That's how I talk to God. Like, it wasn't disrespectful, because God knows that that's where I was in my mindset. I'm like, Kevin is a-hole. I don't like him. If you don't kill him, I'm leaving him. And I'm like, let's make this clear, God. It's not because I want to be with some other man, but I'm done with marriage. If this is what marriage is like, man, F marriage. That's how I talk. And I know for some of you guys are like, oh my God. But this is real rap. This is real rap. I was like, and here's the thing, for some people, Kevin, guys would tell Kevin, oh, your wife is nice looking, your wife is this and this and that. I know that y'all got the perfect, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you, beauty freaking fades. Beauty fades. Women would tell me, yo, if you leave your husband, know that I'm coming for him, because he keeps you in designer clothes. Let me tell you, my kids was looking like Kojic preachers. My boys wore like it, and it was all material stuff. Yeah, so that's the whole point. It was material, but it was no substance. And it was to the point where, like, I kept saying, God, this marriage, this is not. My parents had an effed up marriage, and my grandparents had an effed up marriage, and now I'm gonna have one too. I'll be darned. No, I would be by myself before I let myself stay in this. So you know what, God? And then I straight went in like this with God, because this is how serious it got. I was like, yo, God, if you don't do something, then I'm going to take matters into my own hands, and I'm leaving. And not because I want to be with some other guy, and not because I want to be with some other woman. I'm just tired of this crap.
So
But here's the transition. I did like a whole year or two of me doing it, and I stopped having sex. I was Chirac before that darn movie came out. Kevin will tell you, they didn't come out with that, and Janelle Monáe didn't come out with that and all that stuff. I didn't have sex. My husband pissed me off. I didn't have sex with him for 2 years because our marriage sucked. And I told him, ain't no way you're gonna have sex with me, or I'm gonna give my body to you, and I don't even like you, nigga. And then God, so me griping with God and, whatever, and telling God about what I didn't like. And then one day, it was like literally in the middle of me complaining, it felt like somebody just hit me in the back of my head. But it was really more like I just shut up and I started listening. And it was like God just started running tapes on my stuff. Like, oh, because this is all about Kevin. Oh, because your attitude is perfect. Oh, because you're the perfect wife. Oh, because you don't mess up. This all on Kevin. And he just start running tapes on me. Mm-hmm. And when God start running tapes on me, I was like, oh, well, I need to shut up, because I need to get my ish together. Oh, okay. And y'all know I keep it 100%. And this is not no fake talk or whatever. When God began to run the tapes on me, I had to shut up because I was like, yo, I need to work on Candy because I'm not as innocent in this as I thought. So I began to shut my mouth. When I began to shut my mouth, that's when.
And it's amazing because when she began to when you're in a place, and women, I'm gonna help you out a little bit. When you're in a place where you're in a relationship and you want God to do certain things with your husband, he can't do them until you submit to him. And when she began to submit to him,
meaning God,
God began to deal with me. And one of the things is when God began to deal with me and certain things began to happen, nobody could fix it. Nobody could say, God, like I was praying to the person, I was praying to God, and God was the one orchestrating the situations for my own demise. And I began to lose things. I began to financially, things began to dry up.
Our house got broken into. All that material stuff was stolen.
I had, and the thing is, and let me tell y'all something. One thing that we learned, that we will carry for the rest of our lives is when God begins to bless you financially.
Spin it this way, because I don't know if they're able
it's
to
going to come off, baby. When God begins to bless you financially.
It's from the sun back there. Sorry, y'all. We're trying to fix this screen, so y'all, that's a little better.
But it's.
See? There you go. Just come over here.
Now you're gonna make me forget what I was.
When God begins to bless you financially.
When God begins to bless you financially, it's not for everybody to know because you don't know. Because you don't know who's in your corner. I'll never forget a person told me one time. They said, because again, like my wife would tell you, she had a bunch of jewelry. I had a bunch of jewelry. We had cars with rims and all that kind of stuff on it, and so people looked at us and saw financial success. And the individuals that looked, it was certain individuals that was like, yo, you know what? I need to get them. And before you know it, I had a situation, we were out of town.
We weren't out of town.
We weren't? Somebody broke into our house.
We were at work.
Stole jewelry, stole other things. And it was stuff that just couldn't be replaced, because a lot of stuff was custom made and all that. So if God begins to bless you, don't showboat it all over, because the devil wants to steal, kill, and destroy. So he wants to steal those things. But our marriage,
but also, Kevin, now that you're thinking about it, people equated our stuff to a successful marriage. It's crazy because people really thought, people would come to us and be like, yo, I'm gonna be our married. When I get married, we gonna be like you and Kev, or we gonna be like you and Candy. People didn't realize how miserable we really were. Yeah, we looked nice while we were miserable.
We had everything. Our home was the place everybody wanted to come to.
Like, we literally...
Like when we had get-togethers, I mean, we did it up. Like it would be a seafood area. I mean, if you went in the cooler, it was Snapples, Mystics, and all that kind of stuff. It was
whatever. If you like whatever, we knew if we invited 20 people, and I knew that out of these 20 people, the different ones like certain things, we made sure that everything that everybody liked was there.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't skip, and we told people don't bring anything or whatever.
Anything. We got everything.
But a lot of that was, and it's crazy because a lot of the times we entertained people and we didn't even like each other.
And that's crazy because us entertaining other individuals in our home was for us to mask the fact that we didn't like. We wanted people there that make us feel welcome in our own home with each other. So it wasn't, and you see us now.
And it was crazy because as we're getting ready for the party or whatever it was,
we fussing and arguing.
We would be fussing, wouldn't even be talking. Everybody gets there, we're laughing with each other, we're laughing with everybody, and then when everybody left, it was back to.
And let me tell you,
no, after it was back to, nigga, you still not getting them.
Yo, and let me tell you, I would think through that whole ordeal like, I'm getting it tonight, and then she'd be like, no, and I'm like,
nigga, I still don't like you.
I'm like, so it was situations like that. So again, and we're telling you all the bad to let you know how bad we got to see where we are now.
This what you guys see now, the Candy and Kev show, brand, whatever car conversations you see now. it was not always perfect. When we told y'all a couple of weeks ago, we have been through hell and back. Y'all still don't know the whole story.
Y'all don't know the whole story.
And unless God ever tells us to tell the whole story, we won't tell the whole story.
Yeah, it's certain things
but
like we just can't.
The Candy and be careful.
I would say on a social setting, maybe in a private setting, we might have certain conversations.
Yeah, maybe on an intimate. Maybe we need to get together and have an intimate.
Because if y'all knew our complete story, y'all be like, oh my God,
how are y'all still together?
Yeah, I mean,
but and I want to be honest with you. The things that we experienced in our marriage, and
let me say
unless
this
God, and if it had not been for God, and not to say that me and Kevin were like the model Christian saints, far from it, far from it, but God loved us enough that even when we wanted to give up, as much as I tried to leave this man,
God wouldn't allow.
God would not really fix in my mouth. I kept saying, I'm out. But in my heart,
and let me say this,
I couldn't do it. God would not let me feel comfortable. There were plenty of times I was in a financial situation because I'm gonna be honest with you ladies. My husband, I worked a full-time job. I made very good money. Matter of fact, the job I used to have then, I made more money than I make now, but my check was my own. I'm gonna be 100% with you. There were times that Daddy ain't raised no fool. I had enough money stashed away that I could have taken myself, all 3 of my kids, moved somewhere, and not take a stitch of clothing with me, not take any furniture with me, because I could have just left while he at work, I could have just left. That's a good question. We're going to get to you in a second. I could have just left at any time, not take a stitch of anything, and I could have started a new life, because not only was the financial situation that my check was my own, but my husband used to give me like if I tell him I want to go shopping, my husband would give me like $2,000. Okay, but what would happen is I wouldn't go shopping. I would stash that money, and let me tell you, when I would stash that money because that was my getaway fund. That was my real rap. That was my getaway fund. I had enough money to set me and my kids up proper, be able to pay for an apartment, or at one point I had enough money for a down payment for a house if I wanted to. Yes, your girl was serious. But God would not release me to do it.
Let me say this because I just want to make
that was a hurt piece.
Let me say this because
I cried. Let me just say this, guys. I cried because I wanted to leave him so bad, but I don't know. God put this guilt on me.
And let me say this. One of the things when we say the rest of our story, the first thing people think within a relationship when we say we can't say everything. I don't want you guys to think it was infidelity, because that wasn't the worst of our story. Our worst of our story that we can't
infidelity
share,
would have been doable.
Yeah. It wasn't infidelity. That's the crazy thing. We would want each other to think, I'm gonna make her think I'm cheating just so she can leave me. And it was just like, okay, she won't even think it, so I might as well try. It was just something that God allowed to happen to pretty much it was like, no, I'm not gonna say God allowed it to happen. The enemy took something where he could have been like, okay, if this don't kill them, if this don't take this relationship out, I don't know what else to do. And it was the furthest thing from our mind that would have happened. And when we get in an intimate setting, we'll share that with you guys.
But you know what? Patrice asked a really good
question.
So
Patrice, we can't leave without answering the question. So how did our kids...
We were talking, so I wonder if anybody else... I'm going to actually go back and see if anybody else had questions.
I got a meeting.
But go ahead, Kevin. You address Patrice.
Patrice, one of the things that our children, because our children, they two things from... I realized that with me running after a business and, trying to be successful in business, I needed to spend more time with my children. I never forget, it was one time I would take them to Disney World. I would take them to, they went
our
to
kids
cruises.
Have been to both Disney.
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't until one day I was sitting in the car with my boys and we was in Wendy's parking lot that they said, Dad, this is what we like. We like when we can just have you to ourselves. All the trips and all of that is okay, but this is what we really appreciate. And that was a wake-up call for me. That was a wake-up call for me where I was like, wow, I need to really start, screw all this trying to, because my thing was I wanted to leave my children an inheritance. I wanted to, no, let me stop it. No, that wasn't my thought process. My thought process was like, the more money I make, the more successful I look, and the more arrogant I'll become because I can say I did this. So that was my mindset. But I think our children...
So the question was, how do your children see your relationship, and what do you think they would take away from it? For me, babe, were we the perfect parents? No. Did our kids see... Okay, I'll say this. They saw more than I would have wanted them to see. Mm-hmm. However, they were not exposed to the stuff I was exposed to when I was young. So we weren't perfect, but we weren't full out just asinine either.
I think they can
they see that marriage takes work.
It takes work, and that it's not a give up in them.
Right, and
our kids won't just easily give up on certain things.
Our kids see our tenacity, whatever. But I think one of the big lessons, you have a lot of young kids out here, young people out here that get married real quick, that jump into marriage. My daughter has a few friends that right out of high school they got married. What my kids, one takeaway that I believe my kids have is that when you get married, make sure that you want, because it's not just about the sex, it's not just about the stuff. Marriage is work.
Yeah, it's work, and you have to be able to overcome circumstances, and it takes communication.
And it's so funny because even to this day, our kids are adults. Even to this day now, if Kevin and I have a disagreement, and if our voice gets above a certain level, they'll be like, yo, not today.
Y'all better talk. Y'all better talk about this. Y'all better communicate.
And it's so funny because our kids, they have no allegiance. They'll be like, Dad, you're wrong. Mom, fix your face. And this is like, so I know for some people that might be like, oh, they shouldn't be. But no, because what I'm not going to do,
they'll know how to work their
marriages. Make them think that marriage is easy, because it's not. What I'm not going to do is live a false life in front of the kids so that when they get married, I want them to learn from our mistakes. Now, one thing I will say is we told our kids, and we got to get ready to go, but we did tell our kids that, even if you feel like you want to get married, date your fiance, date your boyfriend or girlfriend for a while before you jump in and get married. And we asked them, just wait until you're at least 25.
Thank you for all that's there with us.
We got to continue this conversation.
Like and share.
Maybe
later on this evening or something. You got anything after?
No, maybe we'll have this conversation later. Do y'all want us to finish this conversation? Like, if we spend the time to come back on tonight, are y'all gonna come back on so we can finish this conversation?
We'll try to come back on around 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight, y'all. Y'all have a great one. Listen, I got a meeting at 8:30. I got to get to. Love you guys. Don't forget, like, share, all that good stuff.
Yes.
All right, love it, baby.
Bye.
Gotta go. Peace out, y'all.